Hi everybody! Welcome back to U-Tips for You. Today I want to show you how to cut a man's hair or a boy's hair at home, yourself. If it's something you think you can't do, well, you actually can. I've taught myself how to cut hair, and I cut my family's hair, and I thought it would be a great thing to share with you. There's a few little tips that I have to give you that will make it so much easier for you. You can learn from things that I've adapted to make it easier. I started out by reading books. My favorite one I have here for you is Hair Cutting for Dummies. This is a great one. I actually bought it. You can get used books on Amazon if you want to, if you don't want to buy a new book. I went to the library, got some videos and some books, and when I felt sure enough of myself, then I asked for my first volunteer. And believe it or not, my first haircut was wonderful. And now I've been doing my family's hair for quite a while. So I wanted to share this with you because I'm sure you'd love to be able to do your children's hair instead of running out to a salon and then they fuss and such. But you can save money and do it yourself too. And it's a fun thing interacting with your family members or whoever it is they want to give a haircut to, your boyfriend or whatever, and you can show them your skills. So first, to start out, I wanted to tell you some of the things that I use. First of all, I think it's a good idea to cover yourself because, believe it or not, the hair gets everywhere. You think you're cutting it, it's falling on the ground, but really it's getting all over you too. And that's why we're outside on my deck. That's where I cut everybody's hair. And in the wintertime, I can still find a day that is warm enough that I can cut hair outside and not have to do the cleanup, because I did it in the bathroom or the kitchen. So I don't have like a smock or anything. So what I use, because it's slippery, I just put on my jogging jacket, my windbreaking jogging jacket that I wear outside. And it's got long sleeves. I just roll them up a little bit and I zipper it up. And this keeps the hair from getting all over my clothing, which itches, and then you have to wash all your clothing. And if it gets on my legs, that's okay, and my feet, that's not a problem. The other thing you want to have handy is a spray bottle, because you want to re-wet your subject's hair as you see fit that you need it to keep it wet. You can cut dry hair too, but I always find that cutting hair wet is easier for me. So I have my little box. It's like a wipes box, and I keep all my hair things in here. Invest in a good scissor. I think that it will definitely last for you. This is a hair cutting scissor. It's a really nice one. They sell really expensive hair scissors. I invested $25 in this one, and it's a great one, and it's well worth it. And then you want to have some trimmers. You want a trimmer. This to do the sideburns and the neck hair. So got that at Walmart. And I got some combs and some hair clips. I don't need these for a boy's or man's haircut. These are more for a woman. You have to pin it up so that you can get to the underlayers. And one more thing I want to share with you is something that I've learned about myself, and this might be something for you too. Is that when you tend to hold the hair up between these two fingers as you cut, because that's how you do it, and I tend to snip into the center of my finger, and it's very painful. So now what I do to guard against that is you can use a Band-Aid, you can use whatever. I just get some gauze from injuries we've had around here, and I just tape it with some masking tape because it makes a really nice thick cushion around my finger. So I know if I cut, I'm going to be cutting into this. So this is a little tip that I developed out of having pain. Okay, so let's get started. We have our subject that we're going to cut here, and I used a sheet as my cape. You can invest in a cape if you'd like to. You can buy those at Sally's Beauty or any place like that. But I use my my house sheet. So you want to comb out the hair, and I had him wet his hair down really well, and you want to just comb it straight down. And the first thing you're going to do is go around the edges, kind of establish the haircut. He wears it, see what the way they wear it. I know he wears it to the side a little bit, but then he sometimes kind of wears a bang type look. So once it's all cut for you, the best place to start is right by the sideburn, and you just tilt the head a little bit, and what you're going to do is you're going to cut around the ear. And you want to go as close to the ear as you can. Roll the ear down a tad because you don't want to nip the ear and cause it to bleed. So this is a good place to begin. And you know, you can touch up what you've done later on as you go along. But in the beginning, you can go gingerly. You don't want to take off too much. Remember, the hair is wet and it does shrink up. And continue on down. And you want to go straight down the back of the neckline. Straight down the back of the neckline. Now remember, I'm not a professional, but I just do this at home for my family, and I'm just sharing it with you if you think it's something that you would like to do. Now, he's very curly in the back, so it's hard sometimes to get that to lie straight. So I just press it down as best I can, and I'm going to continue cutting the length across. I'm going to neaten that up a little bit later. We're going over to this side now. Tilt the head. And we're going to cut around the ears again. Okay. And then we're going to go straight down again from the back of the ear. That just kind of gives you your guide in the beginning. Okay, now you're going to come to the front. You're going to comb the bang area down, and you're going to lift some of the hair up, making a part, about an inch part. And you're going to comb that back, and you're going to work with this thinner amount around the face. And to trim that hair, you just start here and you kind of make an oval around the face. You don't just cut it straight across and then straight down. For a man's hair, has to be blended. So you're going to go straight, and this gives you an idea of how long. Now, he likes to wear his hair short, so I'll show you how you get it shorter and shorter, because I don't use the buzzer. I just use the comb and scissors technique on him, and he loves my haircuts, loves them, better than the salon, right?
Yep.
Okay, and you continue down. And now you've kind of established your guide. So the next area I go to is the top of the head. And what you're going to do is you're going to start, I know he likes to get a short haircut, so I'm going to start, and you start with small little pieces so it's not unruly. And let me show you how you can make sure you always cut the same amount. So you take a small section. Okay, I've drawn a part here, combed it forward, and a part here, and I've combed it forward. And this is the area that I'm going to work with first. This is the centerpiece of the hairline. And then we're going to work on the sides, and then finally the back. So you kind of got to divide the head up in certain sections. And I'm just going to cut straight across, and I'm going to snip along my fingers. See, there's where that Band-Aid comes in handy. See what I did? I cut right along my fingers as a guide. Now, I want to make sure the next section of hair is cut to the same length. So, I'm going to take a piece of that little area that I cut, And then I'm going to take a piece of the next bunch of hair, and I'm going to blend that in. So now I see what I've done. I see what's longer. Can you see that? And I'm going to snip the longer hair to the exact same length as the hair that I just did before that. And so forth, all the way back. We're going to grab the next piece. I've got my guide there. I see how short it's supposed to be, and then I snip the rest. And keep going towards the back of the head. Okay, now that you've cut the centerpiece of the hair, what you need to do is blend your new shorter hair with the sides. So you're going to comb it down, and you're going to start working on the sides. And the way we do that is we comb back. Remember, the left hand, if you're lefty like me, righty like me, the left hand always grabs the hair and cuts it, and the right hand cuts it. And you just slice up along your fingers. You grab the hair. I'm taking the short little guide that I cut already, the newer hair in there, and I'm cutting it to that same length because I want to make sure all my layers are even. I'm combing the hair back so it layers nicely from his head. And it's blending those shorter areas that I just did. Okay, so we want to take off a lot of bulk now before we give the finishing touches to the haircut. So we're going to continue all the way just like this, combing the hair back like this, grabbing it in our fingers, and then slicing it even. And you know, you look for stray hairs as you go along. And we're going to go all the way back, then we're going to do the second layer all the way back, and then we're going to do the back of the hair. So we're just going to keep going like that all the way back towards the back of the hair.